Jess is an Emmy-nominated actress you know from films such as I Am Sam, War of the Worlds, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Equalizer franchise, as well as shows like Ripley, The Alienist, and The Perfect Couple. She stars in All Her Fault, which premieres on Peacock Thursday, November 6th. Let's take a look.
I don't know exactly what time I'll be home. Marissa has an interview with Real Inside at 8, and she wanted me to come over to go over some of the interview questions.
Well, are you staying for the actual interview, or are you leaving by then?
I don't know. Why is it such a big deal?
Well, I just want to know if you're doing Jacob's bath or if I'm still on duty then. That's all. What?
Why are you always so eager to get free? You always want to know when you'll be off.
It's a real thing to say, Jen, okay? You know I love my son.
Whenever you're left in charge of Jacob, you always want to know when it'll end. Do you ever notice that I don't ask that?
Please welcome back to the show, Dakota Fanning, everybody. Hi. Oh my God, I was watching that clip being like, I hope I don't do that with my wife. I was like, did my wife pick the clip? Did my wife pick the clip?
She may say otherwise.
Okay, you know, I'm sure I don't either. That doesn't seem like me. It's so lovely to have you. Before I talk about this wonderful show, I want to compliment a previous wonderful show. Ripley was so fantastic on Netflix.
So much.
And
Thank you.
I will say, like, I think a lot of people who ended up loving it, you know, we all know the film Talented Mr. Ripley.
Yeah.
And, you know, so you have to make, you're like, I can't believe they're trying to make something.
Totally.
And it was completely different. Within, 5 minutes, I totally forgot about the film. Did you have the same, like, trepidation going into it?
Well, any trepidation that I felt was quickly resolved from the first conversation with Steve Zalian.
Yeah.
Because he was very clear in not feeling the need to remake the film because he's such a fan of the film. You know, it's kind of what he wanted to do, something different and have a really faithful adaptation of the novel. And I was so pleased to hear that because it would have been too high pressure to have to be Gwyneth Paltrow as Marge.
But it was great. I mean, a compliment to all of you. It was
Thank
it was so special, and I was so bummed it was over. I'm very happy this is starting.
Thank you.
Immediately, this is one of those shows that very much hits the ground running. Like basically first scene. So I don't feel like it's a spoiler.
I don't either. I think right away it's very safe to say what
Sarah
happens.
Snook's child goes missing.
Yes.
This is very twisty, very turny.
Yes.
Is this the kind of thing you enjoy watching?
I really do. I love twisty, turny mysteries. This has a lot of like societal dynamics at play amongst the mystery. But I am a person that spoils nearly every show or movie that I watch for myself.
Oh, you
I look up what happens.
Oh, really?
Every time.
So, like, this one's based on a book, so did you immediately just read the book and ruin it?
I made them tell me what was going to happen at
Gotcha.
the end of the series in the first meeting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, when it's twisty and turny, sometimes as an actor, it's hard to remember where you are. What information have you received at this point?
That was the biggest thing. Yeah, the first 4 episodes were directed by the same director, Minky Spyro, and the last 4 episodes were directed by another director, Kate Dennis. So, but in those 2 blocks of 4 episodes, you know, you're shooting out of order. So it's very important to make sure that you're like, wait, I don't think I know that yet, right? Nobody's told me that thing. Yeah, okay, I should do it. I should say that line differently. Never mind. But I have a whole system with my scripts that I've been doing my entire life. Like I highlight them the same way. I have these color-coded tabs. And when I get revisions, I then sit down and go through them and like redo everything. And it hasn't changed since I was like 7 years old.
Oh my God.
And so I think I'm just still an actor.
It does sound like a 7-year-old's plan.
I know. But by the way, you're so familiar with your scripts through the system.
Yeah,
and having to reorganize it and redo it all the time.
Be honest, do you low-key love it?
I absolutely love it. I think I'm still an actor to just interact with as many like office supplies as possible.
Like when you walk into your local Staples, are they like, Dakota got a part?
She's here. I travel with my own 3-hole punch.
Oh my God.
Because in Europe and in Australia, they do 2-hole punch.
Yeah, you can't work like that.
And I have a specific binder that I have used since I was little that was a gift from an actor that I worked with, and it's a 3-hole punch. So I have to travel with a 3-hole punch
Oh my
everywhere.
God, has TSA ever pulled out the 3-hole punch?
It's in the checked luggage, so I don't know what they I don't know what they do down there. But
that is like your cover story is like actually I have a very specific way. They're like we're
they're
taking
like,
it
I
away.
have a method with my scripts. They're like, okay,
No.
I'm sure.
They're
Whatever.
like they'll have a hole puncher there, and
They
you're like they
don't,
won't
though.
actually.
They don't. It's 2 holes. It doesn't work.
There are young actors in
Yes.
this show as well.
Yes.
You were, as we've established, a young actor.
Yes.
Do you feel like you work with them differently than people who maybe started later in life? Do you feel like you have empathy for it?
Yeah, maybe. Also, I know what I liked when I was the boy that played my son and the little boy that plays Sarah's son were a little bit younger than when I started. But I liked being treated like everyone else.
Right.
You know, I didn't want to hear like, hello, how are you? It's like, I'm doing the same thing that you're doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
So.
Do you feel like, I mean, obviously you worked with like some real heavy hitters early on.
Yes.
Did they do that? Did they treat you like a fellow actor?
100%.
Yeah.
Like in an appropriate way. You
Right,
know,
right.
like not like still.
I couldn't picture like Sean Penn or Denzel being like, hey.
Certainly not. No. So that's just how I approach it. I know how I like to be treated and like respected and valued, and I was so lucky to work with people who really did that for me. So I guess as I get older, I'm still not used to being like not the youngest person on the set.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange.
Yeah, do you like walk over to the young actors and you're like, we're kind of all the same?
Yeah, I'm like, it's just weird. Like now there's like members of the crew who are younger than I am. I'm
trust me.
like,
Trust me,
wait
sister.
a second.
Been there.
I know, and it's like I'm still getting used to it. I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
supposed to be the young. You're 23. Get out.
Oh, yeah. You gotta take it, writing her a different color highlighter for 23-year-olds. This is very exciting. You're gonna be working with your sister,
Yes.
Elle, for the first time in the film. First time.
First time.
It's so exciting.
First time. Yeah, she has played me younger a couple of times.
Okay.
When we were kids, and but we've never been in a scene together and
Wow.
like acted opposite each other.
Do you have? Do you think both? Are you both like very excited and have? You think like this will be totally fine?
I think it will be totally fine, everyone. But yeah, it's gonna be weird for the first day, you know?
Yeah.
I think my biggest thing is like, I'm the older sister, so I have older sister things
Yeah.
that I do
Privileges, you
and
can say privileges,
Yeah, exactly. And you know, sometimes I will be like, stop, like you're talking too much, like stop talking. And I can't do that.
Yeah, you can't.
That
do
is
on
not
set.
appropriate.
It
I
is
wouldn't
funny.
do that to another actor, so I won't be able to do
Right,
that
you
to
have
her.
to. You cannot treat siblings like siblings in public.
No. So I'm gonna have to check myself a
That's
little
fantastic.
bit, I'm sure. But I'm
she's
so
coming here
excited.
soon. She's
I
in a
know,
new film,
I know, yeah.
A Sentimental Value, which
you
I
seen
just
it?
watched. It's incredible.
I think it's my favorite movie I've ever seen.
It's really amazing.
It's so amazing.
Do you? Can you watch your sister and just like fully enjoy the film in the
Yeah.
same way, or is it different?
I'm so like proud to be her sister when I watch her, and like always so overwhelmed. But I do think you feel things deeper because it's her face
Yeah.
and it's her,
And
and
this
we
is a
are
movie-
sisters.
this is a movie that you feel
and that
deeply.
movie especially because there's so many like family dynamics at play, and so I just was definitely crying. I did a movie where I passed away in the movie.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler. And I wasn't there when she saw it, but apparently she had a full panic attack and a meltdown when she like saw me die in the movie.
That's really sweet.
Which is a totally normal thing, like totally normal. But I remember being like, "Elle, what?
Yeah.
Like seriously?"
I mean, it's so much better than hearing like she could not stop
She couldn't
laughing.
stop laughing. She loved
She
every
was
minute
like,
of
fine.
it.
She was kept going, finally.
But then, by the way, I had a similar thing. I watched her in the Neon Demon, and there's kind of like this part at the end that's like a little disturbing. It's like body horror,
Yeah.
kind of disturbing. And I remember being like I'm gonna like throw it. Like it
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
made me sick. So I was like, okay, now this is payback for making her watch me pass away
There
in
you
a
go.
movie.
She got back. She got back. Like, yeah, 5X.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Thank
Congrats
you for
on the show.
having
You guys,
me.
this is Dakota
Thank you.
Fanning. All Her Fault premieres on Peacock tomorrow, November 6th. We'll be right back.